United's midfielders stepped up massively since Solskjaer arrived. He actually freed up Paul Pogba. The problem that we still have, though, is balance. We need an energetic box-to-box midfielder. Maybe someone that can start, maybe someone that's a bit more rotational. The key here is energy and being effective at both ends of the pitch. Here's 5 box-to-box midfielders that can bring a bit of balance to Manchester United. Number 1, Tanguy Ndombele. There are a few more promising box-to-box midfielders in world football than Tanguy Ndombele. He's eerily similar to Moussa Dembele in his prime in terms of the ability to dribble through the middle of the park, and he's hitting that level at just 21 years of age. The criticism will be levelled at him that he plays in League One, but his Champions League stats are actually better than his domestic stats. He's completing 3 dribbles per game in Europe and winning the ball back 3.5 times per game, and he's bagged 2 goals in 5 games. That's an almost absolutely perfect profile for a box-to-box midfielder. At times it feels like United are crying out for a player that can grab hold of a game by the scruff of the neck, and Ndombele is absolutely that guy. Having been called up to the French squad in the last few months, his stock is massively on the rise, and he is a player that United should look to bring in ASAP. Number 2, Allen. Allen has always been one of the most underrated midfielders in Europe, and he's arguably looked better than ever playing under Carlo Ancelotti this season. His creative output isn't outrageous with 1.3 key passes per game, but the sheer energy of the guy is enough to build upon his defensive output. He's winning 4 tackles per game in Serie A this season, intercepting the ball at least once a game. He's perfectly competent at playing box-to-box or as an outright defensive midfielder, but I think the energy and tenacity that he possesses is something that United side sorely lacks. He's finally forced himself into Tite's Brazil squad, which serves to show that he can prove his quality even to the most stubborn of managers, a valuable quality to have in any side. Number 3, Sanchez. Now this is going to be a big divisive one. I mean, I've absolutely slated him hard in the past. Yes, Sanchez had an absolute nightmare of a season in the Premier League with Swansea, playing only 703 minutes and picking up more yellow cards, than he did goal contributions. However, it's easy to forget that the former Golden Boy winner is only 21 and he looked like one of the hottest prospects in the world during his time at Benfica. Since that move, he's played for a relegation for the Swansea side and had limited opportunities in a Bayern Munich team which looks on the decline. It's probably a little bit harsh to expect him to pull up trees in such environments. He's shown signs of improvement since the start of the season and completed 94.1 passes in the Bundesliga, and you get the sense that as Bayern recover from their slow start, he'll be one of the main components in this team. Could it be worth United snapping him up before that happens? Transfer market value him at just 20 million, and I'd say at that price it might just be worth the risk. Abdoulaye Doucouré. A vital component in Watford's excellent start to the Premier League season, Doucouré has proven that he's good enough to boss midfield battles at this level, and that is something that you could say United have looked for large spells of this season. Only Pogba has got more assists than Doucouré, and that's only been sorted since Solskjaer came in. What's even more impressive though is that he's managed to register so many assists since having such a mammoth defensive responsibility. He wins the ball back over 3 times, 3.1 per game, and I don't think you can overestimate how important that has been in driving Watford's achievements so far this season. Doucouré will inevitably have dreamt about European football after Watford's flying start to the season, and that's something that I think in the long term at least, United can definitely offer him. Number 5, Karim Damir Bae. Don't be fooled by the number 10 on the back of his shirt. Damir Bae is a box-to-box midfielder. In fact, he had more touches in his own box than in the opposition box when Hoffenheim played Hertha Berlin in November, a game in which he scored and got an assist. He's an incredibly well-rounded player, a great tackler with 2.8 per game and an elite creator with 3 key passes per match. Statistically, he's a better tackler and creator than anybody in the current Manchester United squad, which is absurd. When Nagelsmann moves on at the end of the season, Damir Bae could well call time on his Hoffenheim spell as well. And if so, United would be daft not to try and bring him to Old Trafford. If Woodward's got the same forward thinking that brought Solskjaer for this transfer window, then someone like Ndombele or Damir Bae would be brilliant for us. If Woodward is in charge of who we're signing, then it's going to be whoever Madrid are trying to sell. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments who you'd like to see coming in as a box-to-box midfielder. And also check out the Patreon group. The link is in the description. And that is where you'll get all of the early news and discussion with almost 500 Reds in there every single day. It's worth checking out. Hit the link in the description and I'll see you in the next one. Laters.